when we shift over to problems in the church, I see a shift where churches are starting to almost think that what they have to offer isn't good enough.
Yeah.
So they see a decline in younger people in the church, and a lot of, older generations sort of taking up most of the congregations in church, and so that they think that they need to almost become more like the world in order to attract people.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's something that I see as a bit of a concern. And I'm probably a bit more of a conservative side of a Christian, where I see a lot of church cultures. It's kind of all about how good the music sounds, or it's all about how good the sermon is. And for me, it's a bit worrying, because I like the fact that when you come to church, the focus should be Jesus. The focus shouldn't be, we need to make sure we have the best music in Christchurch, or you need to make sure that you have a 40-minute sermon and it's the most profound thing that anyone's ever heard, And so I think that's where some of the problems of the church comes into it. Well, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's that consumer mentality, and it comes through, we don't realise, but it comes through in our worship as well. And the essence of the consumer mentality is that what we have isn't good enough. And in the end, it becomes what we are isn't good enough. And in the end, it seeps into our church isn't good enough, even our God isn't good enough. And we become these consumers of religion, rather than the prime focus being, as you say, that relationship with Jesus.
Yeah.
And so, there's nothing wrong with having good music.
No.
We don't want awful music.
Yeah.
But it's when that's the motivation, we're not actually worshipping, we're at a concert.
Yeah.
And so I think we need to step back from that consumer mentality. And we get into it as Christians, you have a meeting of the Ministers Association, not the one I'm in is really good at the moment, but there was one I was in the past, and everybody had these stories of church growth. And after a while I thought, man, if these stories are true, all of Christchurch must be Christians by now, but it was that one-upmanship of Christians getting together, and my church is massive, and there's all these people coming and blah, blah, blah. And that's not a relationship with Jesus. That's the consumer mentality.
Yeah, definitely.
And again, there's nothing wrong with growing a church. That's really important that we reach out.
Yeah.
But the focus, as you say, is to be on Jesus.